Rivercity IT works with businesses from 5 up to about 100 people. We look after server migration, server maintenance.
So how long have you been doing this stuff?
I've been doing this stuff since late 90s. Technology's changed a lot since then. The role of an IT company has changed a lot. These days, not so much bare metal stuff as in computers, but more cloud services.
Where do you think it's going? Because historically, didn't it used to be a case of a business had a server and had some workstations hooked up to that server, probably running Microsoft stuff?
Yeah, now I think it's all going to go cloud-based. Or your email will be cloud-based, or your documents will be cloud-based. Your workforce may be more mobile and distributed. You know, you might have more people working from home or on the road.
Do you think it's going to be dominated by one player? You know, historically stuff was dominated by Bill Gates.
No, I think in the coming years you'll find that the platform's not going to really matter that much. It's more about what you do with that platform, because I think they'll all do the same thing. They all have email, they all have storage. It'll just depend on who you're comfortable with. If you use Microsoft Office, you'll use Microsoft's version. If you use Gmail, you'll use Google. And the third or fourth player whenever they come aboard.
Right. So do you think, or who do you think the major force is in this new cloud space? Who do you think is leading the charge at the moment?
Well, I think the big three at the moment. You've got Amazon, you've got Microsoft, and you've got Google. They all offer the whole gamut of services, if you like. You can host a computer. They all provide hosting. They all provide the ability to have a office somewhere else.
So a server used to be a machine, used to be a box in a back room.
Yep.
With whirring noises and a fan mechanism that collected copious amounts of dust and miscellaneous office debris. Are you saying now that a server can be anywhere, can be somewhere else? So I can have I don't know, Microsoft Small Business Server or whatever it is on a magical machine somewhere at the other end of the internet.
Yeah, you can have your Microsoft Small Business Server anywhere in the world you like. It'll still be a machine, but it just sits somewhere else.
Given where cloud is going, does it matter for businesses, I don't know, in that size range of 5 people to 100 people? Historically, they would have had a Microsoft Server product.
Yep.
Does this mean that fewer of them might have a Microsoft Server product?
Yeah, I think as long as their internet connection is good enough and quick enough, then they really don't need a server on site to do those traditional things. They still need something to control their network, their printers, their users, etc. But they don't need the email server in there. They don't need a file server in there. They can still share everything and get all the features they had before plus more by not having the server there.
So this is interesting for someone like yourself who previously would have set up servers and migrated servers. Does that mean that what your customers are asking for is changing?
Yeah. What they want these days is just things to work seamlessly. They aren't caring so much about the big box in the corner. They're more concerned about efficiencies, uptime, things working, things being able to work when they're not at work. So if the CEO's on the plane somewhere else, he wants to know that when he lands and walks into the Qantas Business Club there, he can log on and do what he needs to, check his email, edit documents, even do a VoIP call or a go-to meeting or help someone out.
Okay.
So that's what he's more worried about than the box in the corner.
Isn't this interesting? In in times gone by, it was about, an IT system. The thing that would happen at the end of an IT system would probably be a printed document, would be something on an A4 or an A3 piece of paper. Now it's hosting meetings and those sorts of things.
Yeah, and I think it'll go even further down that lane.
So tell me about the kind of work you do, in a way finds you in a workplace where lots of stuff is happening IT-wise, but you must get a unique viewpoint of an organisation, because you will be in there addressing IT issues, but you must see the organisation top to bottom.
Yeah, it's a different viewpoint. I think there's a lot of trust involved with that viewpoint. And yeah, you do get to see a lot of things, and every now and then someone might ask, and you can give them a point of view from the IT guy.
Yeah.
Which is
that's an interesting point of view, isn't it? The IT guy's point of view.
Yeah, you tend to see a lot more things than what, say, a manager would see, or the girl at the reception desk would see.
Or other consultants, because usually the organisation is just working around the IT guy.
Yeah.
But you must accumulate some interesting insights on what's happening.
Yeah, funny stories and insights as well, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But useful stuff, because you can then recycle that into the information system solutions that you're helping that organisation with. What got you into IT, or the stuff that you're doing now? Which, as far as I'm concerned, is just magic, because you make machines talk to each other, and you clean up after humans in IT systems.
It was just something that came natural. Didn't have to work at it. It was just something that I could do. So I did, and yeah, here we are now, 20 odd years later, still just doing it.
There's a fair bit of this in your history, though, wasn't there? Because you were in your musical life, you were working a lot with sequencing, and that sort of stuff. So I guess getting a machine to drive instruments or lights.
Yeah, we started off in maybe 1990 with an old Atari, sequencing music.
Okay.
Very challenging back then. Not as easy as it is today, but it worked.
It wasn't quite GarageBand, eh?
Not quite. Close, but not quite.
I don't know if it was close even.
Well, Logic is what we used to use. Well, Creator, which is now Logic.
Oh, is that right? I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
So Logic is the Apple thing?
Yeah, Logic, yeah. Apple own it now, and...
Oh, right. So they
bought it about...
bought it, okay.
5 years ago.
Really?
No, maybe longer.
Yeah, okay.
Time goes quicker.
But that's what GarageBand kind of looks like.
Yeah. Yep.
There's a bit of a similar look and feel to GarageBand and Logic. I didn't realise that history went all the way back to...
Yeah. Creator and Notator. Because Notator, you could actually print out what you put in.
Okay.
So if you put a drum chart or a piano...
So you put a score in, you could put a piano score in and it would play the notes?
No, you'd put the notes in and it would print you out the score.
Oh, okay.
Which was beneficial for orchestras and stuff.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting that the way we view these machines, because they really are just machines that are totally logical, and I guess it's how we visualise it. How do you visualise the machine you're working on?
Oh, that's a hard one. It's just an entry point, really, the machine you're working on, an entry point to whatever information's around that you have the ability to use. So it's just a conduit for information, really.
So when you're seeing people, you sometimes they'll ring you in a state of anxiety about something that's going on with their IT.
Yep. But it's my job to, tell them it'll all be okay and fix the problem.
So you get to take people from a fairly stressed scenario, or they'll present.
Yeah, they present as whatever's happened to them is the most important thing in their life, and I have to respect that and solve that issue, because it is the most important thing to them at that point in time. And as long as I can do that, they're happy. Well, that's the name of the game, isn't it? Because when you're providing a service, whatever you're providing to that client will be important to them.
What do you think the world needs to know about IT? Because you see lots of businesses, lots of SMEs. What do you wish you could tell all the SMEs out there?
If there's one thing I could tell all the SMEs out there, it would be to back up, and then back up again.
And there's different kinds of backing up, isn't there? There's, what would you tell them about backing up?
Well, ideally, you'd back up off-site, and you would do it in such a way that it doesn't impact on anyone's time and effort, so it just happens.